Words, they say, are very powerful. Is it possible to have a good day or a bad day because of a word spoken to you? You're welcome to ZEAL'S TV Experience, where we talk about topical issues affecting our societies and the world at large. It's very informative, educating, and interactive. Today on your favorite TV program, we'll be considering a very important topic known as demeaning words, why, and reason. We go on a short break. When we're back, I'll reveal to you my guest for today. Welcome back to ZEAL'S TV Experience. So we'll talk about topical issues affecting our societies and the world at large. Joining me today to talk on this important topic, diminishing words, why and reason, is a counseling psychologist, psychologist and a public affairs analyst. And he's no other person than Mr. Kufre Etuk, right?
Thank you very much, Zio. You're doing well. You're doing a good job.
Thank you.
Thank you, viewers, for making our time to join us.
All right, very quickly, I would love to understand, what is diminishing words?
Well, the words that we consider as diminishing or demeaning words are words that actually make other people feel bad.
Okay.
Most times they may not necessarily be true, but they could just be born out of various reasons. Could be out of insensitivity towards others, and we term such words as we term such actions as social lack of social intelligence. So people with poor social intelligence tend to talk down other people because they lack what it takes to carry along others, to understand how other people feel when they talk to them. So such people fall under the category of those that are low in terms of social intelligence. They are very low. So that's just it. But then if you want to expand it a little bit further, and I say because there is a reason behind everything, and then also the people also allow such words or diminishing words to get to them, are also they also have issues with emotional intelligence, because you should be able to know that in this world, people will definitely hurt you.
Say something.
People will definitely hurt you. Everyone will not like you. Even Jesus Christ, the Son of God, had a lot of enemies. People say a lot of bad things about him, but that didn't keep him down. That didn't distract him in any way. So, but you need to be socially intelligent for you to be able to communicate effectively with people, and also you must be emotionally intelligent to be able to absorb whatever junk or garbage comes your way, so you don't get affected.
All right. To what extent do you think this word can go to hurt people?
Diminishing or demeaning words can actually go a long way in damaging people, not just hurting. It can damage people for a lifetime. It depends on their level of emotional intelligence. There are people who may not take it lightly. There are people that may actually get into depression because of diminishing words or demeaning words. There are people that can actually consider committing suicide. So it's important that you upgrade your level of emotional intelligence, and that's why I advise people to see counselors to help and advise you, to guide you properly, in order for you not to commit suicide just because of what someone said that may not necessarily be true about you. So diminishing words can actually hurt and cause a lot of damages, and it can also trigger certain behaviors, certain maladaptive behaviors that could lead to a very serious clash. Because consider yourself. Okay, let's just say Zio talks to maybe a tout at the motor park and calls him a tout, even though you know that he is a tout at the motor park. You don't need to tell him to his face, "Get away from my face," or "Get out, you tout, you smelling tout." That could trigger a certain aggressive behavior from him, and it could break a few bottles on your head, and then you won't have anyone to blame. So those are just some of the things that could happen as a result of talking down on people. So it goes a long way to trigger, because we have a lot of mental issues as it is in this country. We have a lot of mental health issues in this country as it is already. And one of the things that the government has failed to do has been placing priority on mental health
Yeah.
of citizenry. And we focus more on the physical health. And when you look at spiritual health, people go to churches. Churches spring out every here and there, and then people look at, we have a lot of hospitals that are investing billions of naira into the health sector, but nobody actually talks about the mental health. That is the most important aspect of health, because the mind controls the total being of the man. So if no matter how rich you are, no matter how big you are, if you're not mentally stable, you can break down, you can misbehave. In fact, of course, there are some researches that proves that people that are mentally, unhealthy, if they are put into positions of authority, they tend to abuse power.
Yeah, sure.
So it has a lot of bearing on everything that we are experiencing as a society. Yeah. So now the mental health aspect of it is that, beyond making someone feel bad about himself, that may cause depression. And of course, depression is a form of, is a manifestation of stress. Because you don't know what the person is already going through. You don't know if the mother or the stepmother or the stepfather or the uncle or big brother in the past, many years ago, while he was a child, said some bad things about that person, and now you're reinforcing that impression, that negative, impression on that, individual, by telling that person the same thing. You don't know if someone was thrown out of school for being nonchalant or for being a nuisance, and then you're not telling him you nuisance. 7 years later, after he's trying to put his life together. So you have already triggered. So the government does not pay, it does not attach importance to the mental health issues. So that is the problem that we are having. People everywhere, we have same issues all over the world, but they've learned to manage it because they are laid down principles on coping with this, attitudes, with this, with these challenges. So mental health issues are very serious concerns. So everything diminishing. If someone even says any diminishing word or demeaning word or talks down anyone, and someone receives it too, both of them actually have mental health issues. They actually have mental health issues, because people that are mentally sound, people that have, that are mentally sound, that are, that have ways of, coping with these unhealthy, habits and things that we hear in the society. They have a way of it. But the mentally healthy person is able to adjust and adapt, knows what to say to someone, and knows how to receive what others are telling him to. So those are just the preliminary, observations and research that we've been able to put together. I know that the government is not doing their best. They should focus on mental health issues. And how do you go about it? Right from when they are, at the primary school level or nursery school level, right from when they are kids. Because we have what we call formative years, from the age of 3 to 11. Those are the formative years in every human being. Of course, there are other psychologists who have also said other things, but I want to hold on to that particular one because it's more practical and it's more real in Nigeria, because I have kids too, and I've been observing them. So the things you say, because they must also mind what you say, and it begins from the home. Parents must be mindful of the things they say to their children, because these things end up forming their belief, forms the foundation of whatever they'll become in the future, their way of life. So the home, the church, the environment, the society, and there are factors, there are a lot of factors that determines the health. There are biological factors, there are societal factors, and then there is also social factors, and so many other factors that determines how, the total outcome of a human being's, or what forms what a human being will actually become in life. So there are a lot of factors that come to play when you are considering all of this. So of course, when we don't look at the biological factor, it could be the habit that is transferred from the father or the mother or the siblings to the younger ones. And if the environmental factors, someone that grows up in an abusive environment cannot expect such a child to behave differently, So we have to look at all these things. So when they bring them together, the one that grew up in an environment where people behave rascally, who might corrupt the ones that were trained in good homes. So that is why we must have counselors in every school, in every school and in every environment, almost in every sector, to observe these issues, to observe these lifestyles, to observe this corrupt mentality or this corrupt mindset, to be able to correct it on time before they grow up with it and then it becomes a problem. That's just it. So we need to pay attention and attach importance to mental health development of kids in Nigeria to be able to stop this from happening.
All right, now, why do we use demeaning words on other people? What do you think would cause that?
When you say we, or why do we use demeaning words
And
on
others,
people,
yeah.
I take an exception because I can't remember the last time.
You've never done that
No, not that
before?
I've never, but since I came to full consciousness and
That,
awareness of the
okay.
impact, repercussions or implications of
What it
using demeaning
means.
words on people,
Yeah.
I don't think I can't remember.
Tried
I
it
can't remember the
before.
last time I used demeaning words on people. I try to respect people, and because I expect people to also respect me. So that's that. Why we use demeaning words on people? I think most people do it out of ignorance.
Okay.
They don't know the implications of saying those things, and then proper they lack training, and they lack social intelligence. They lack social intelligence, they lack training, and then they also lack a fear of God. And a lot of factors comes into play, and it could also be as a result of a terrible upbringing.
Okay.
It could be as a result of post-traumatic stress disorder. People react, differently. People may have had issues in the past that any really little thing triggers them to say anything they feel like. I mean,
Okay.
for instance, people that grow up in an abusive environment tend to be abusive. Even if you are playing with them, even if you are being nice to them, they just abuse you because that's who they are. That's all they know. So that's just it. But it's sad. It's sad that we have to live with all of this in a society where we should be thinking of how to love each other, help each other out, and then grow as people.
All right. Talking about reaction, how do people tend to react to demeaning words?
Yeah. Well, it requires some level of emotional intelligence to be able to control, abuses, to be able to control the feeling that you get when people talk down at you, say nasty things, call all kinds of names, whether they are true or not. But nobody wants to be insulted.
Yeah.
So it takes some level of emotional intelligence to be able to manage and control that. But people react to it differently to emotionally, and someone that is emotionally intelligent
Okay.
knows how to handle those things. And even the Bible, the scriptures, some of us are Christians, it tells us to forgive and then walk away from problems and all that. And then others that are also very sound, that have a sound family background, that had good parenting, because good parenting is not just about providing clothes and
food,
feeding your children.
yeah.
It has a lot to do with counseling, with imbibing your children with values that can actually help you maneuver the society, no matter how troublesome it might be. It also depends on your educational background too.
Okay.
So people react to it differently, but there are people who don't take it lightly. There are people who just lose it once they've been talked down at, or once they've been abused. There are people who tend to react instantly.
Yeah,
There are people that would go to the extent of even picking up a serious fight with you. There are people that can even harm you. There are people kill. People go to the extent of killing just because they were insulted. People go to that extent seriously. They do all kinds of things. People even invoke voodoo. They do a lot of things. It all depends on your level of consciousness and awareness.
Okay.
So that's just it.
Now-
People even consider suicide. I think I've already told you that.
Yeah.
People even consider suicide. There are people that you say terrible things to and they cry, and then lack of emotional intelligence, they consider suicide, which is very wrong. You will die, and then the person that insulted you is still living. The person may not even know that he has insulted you.
And
Just
that
think,
could cause
might just think that is a lifestyle, that's how life should be. Not knowing that you've actually been hurt. So you must look after yourself. You must take care of yourself. You must be strong in the mind. You must be strong. You must be very, very strong. You must be strong-willed to let people toss you around.
All right. Now, how can we avoid using demeaning words on others?
Well, I don't know how you can avoid using demeaning words other than improving on your social intelligence.
Okay.
That's just the only way you can avoid understanding what social intelligence means in the first place. Like you should be able to know the implications of things you say, the things you say, and then what to expect as well. And that's what it means by implication, that if you say something bad to someone, that person will feel bad, and the person might get to a level of actually hurting you physically. Can actually hurt you physically, and can also talk back at you. So Bible says, "Do unto others what you wish others to do unto you." I don't know where in the Bible I've heard people say, quote the Bible that do unto others what you wish others. So
To
if
do
you
for
don't,
you,
if you
yeah.
don't like, if you don't want to be called a bastard, don't call someone a bastard. For
Bastard,
instance,
yeah.
if you don't want to be called a fool rather, I don't think it's proper for you to also call someone a fool.
Fool, yeah.
So any word you wouldn't want someone to use on
use
you,
on you.
don't use it on others. People are human. People have feelings. People have feelings, and people have problems too. So if you've mad them, coupled with the problems that they have, you might just trigger something very radical and nasty that will hurt you. That's why people fight every day.
Yeah, sure.
People fight every day. See people go to the emergency unit in the hospital. See people with bottles in their head, knives. People that have been stabbed, shot. A lot of issues. People that have been. I saw someone one guy that used to work at the motor park there. I can't mention his name here on TV. Poured him acid because of the way he behaves with drivers. They actually ganged up and poured him acid because of the way he behaves, and a couple all kinds of names. So people may not take it lightly because people are also going through a lot of issues. Manage your own problems. Don't transfer aggression to others. If you have problems, manage it. Cage it. I don't need money. A lot of people have problems, so don't transfer problems to people. Try and manage your own and contain yourself. Don't go around insulting people and calling people names.
All right. At what point do you think people use demeaning words on others? At what point?
It's at the point of. I don't even know. I don't want to use the word foolishness. I'm trying to be very nice. But I think the point where people use demeaning words is at the point of ignorance. I think most people do it out of ignorance. Let me just be, let me just be nice in that response.
Anger, somebody's angry and is reacting. And
that's what they are triggers. They are triggers to such things. They are triggers. For instance, there are people that you will call fools and then they will call you idiots. So that means them calling idiots may have been triggered by
what you said
because you call them a fool. So a lot of issues, is responsible. A lot of issues are responsible for for the whole of these responses. So if you call someone, for instance, the question was, at what point do people use demeaning words? Yes, one of the points is it could be triggered by or what are the triggers? That's the question. It could be triggered by a bad mouth as well. A demeaning word can also trigger a demeaning word. And then an action or behavior, an unaccepted behavior by maybe a subordinate can also trigger a demeaning word from the boss or the leader or the elder in that circle or setting, or the leader. So if your house help or your younger one pours or breaks your plate, you might likely call that person Ntan. That means a fool for Ntromi or for Ibarami. You do this wicked child. You might likely say that, but that's actually demeaning to that individual. So no matter what the person has done, try to seal your lips. Your name is Zeal now, so try to seal your lips. Don't use harsh words on people. So I think a lot of issues. So it's where people just, and others just say it because they love saying it. People just abuse because they love doing it.
Actually there are some persons that you say those words to and they don't take it to heart. You understand?
They don't
take it like anything serious. They just play along with it and then they're cool with it.
Yeah.
But there are some people that
such people are very rare. Such people are very rare, and either they are used to such words, or they are very rare, or they are just emotionally intelligent enough to manage, such bad mouth, or what we call demeaning words or diminishing words. Okay. So that's just it, my dear.
All right, your final word of advice to our viewers out there.
Viewers, well, take care of yourself, take care of your mental health. It's very important to take care of your mental health because you're mentally healthy, you're mentally sound. You won't allow yourself, you won't subject yourself to insulting people, you won't subject yourself to, calling people names that you wouldn't want them to call you. So take care of your mental health and then look after your environment, love others, let love lead you. If you are being led by love, there'll be no room for anger. There'll be no room for any problem in this world. So let love lead you. Take care of yourself and take care of your environment. And then also, most importantly, fear God and respect God. Love your neighbors as you love yourself. That's what the Bible says. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. So thank you very much. And most importantly, please always seek the counsel of a trained counselor, not a spiritualist. Look for, there are a lot of trained counselors in a private mistake. Talk to them if you have issues that are bothering you. So instead of venting it out, on other people, seek help from a counselor. Talk to a counselor today. Thank you very much.
They say two heads are better than one. Anytime you are maybe you are bothered, you're angry over something, like my guest said, you have to talk to someone. You need someone to confide in. You need to talk to someone. Say out your mind, because you just have to talk to someone, because no man is an island. So that's been the start of our today's program on ZEAL'S TV Experience. We return next week bigger, better, and stronger. And remember, don't look down on anyone except you're ready to pick that person up. I remain your TV goddess, to the Z, to the E, and to the L. You can always call me ZEAL. Bye bye.